My name's Zeo, and as you all know, PSO2 New Genesis launches June 9th. Holy shit, that's next week. So today I'm going to share with you my thoughts on this news and some of the potential future implications. I can't help but feel like this is the end of an era. You know, one chapter ends, another begins. This coming from someone who's been with the game and followed it since it was first announced back in 2010. I'll admit initially I wasn't going to go near this thing. After seeing PSO Blue Burst and then PSU and how Sega essentially treated its foreign fan base like second-class citizens, if it wasn't a certain blue hedgehog, it didn't exist. Then 2011 came along and they started showing more of the game and what they were planning on doing. I was like, okay, I think I'll give it a shot. Then they announced the closed beta. I was like, okay, I'll throw my hat in the ring. I got in and very much liked what I saw. I still had my concerns about the cash shop though. Was this thing going to be blatantly pay to win? Just how predatory were they going to be? You know, we've seen what absolute shit shows these things have been over the years, especially in the Asian markets. I don't mind these systems personally so long as the player isn't forced to interact with them. A free player should have the same opportunity to progress and enjoy the game as a premium player might, and I think PSO2's implementation of it was pretty fair. I've played the game on and off since that closed beta in the spring of 2012. I've taken my share of breaks over the years, mostly because I wasn't enjoying what the game had to offer at the time. Like most of Episode 5, I didn't really care much for how they implemented the hero class compared to all the other classes. If you weren't playing hero, you weren't playing the game. This is something that global players didn't really experience with their Episode 5. The base classes already had their balance and quality of life changes by the time it came out over there. I wasn't around for the start of Episode 6 though. I was engrossed in Final Fantasy XIV and was waiting for Shadowbringers to come out at the time. And then that summer at E3, they were like, PSO2 coming west. I was like, okay, I know how this ends. History always has a way of repeating itself. Japan, of course, gets everything since it's been out over there for the better part of a decade. And once again, everyone else gets crumbs. I thought, yeah, this will come out with maybe Episode 3 if we're lucky. Then maybe we'll get Episode 5 by mid-2021. You know, like a lot of those Korean games where the Korean servers are several months ahead of everyone else. The trailer they showed at E3 said all the content, and I was like, yeah, right. By the time 2022 rolls around. Of course, we didn't know that they had what they had up their sleeves at the time. I'll give credit where it's due, though. What the global team managed to pull off in the span of a year is crazy. Even with Koof and all the challenges it brought, holy shit, they did it. The Mad Lads did it. I think going forward, this game's going to be an interesting case study, just like FF14 was with A Realm Reborn. Can other games that have been around for a while benefit from this same treatment? Can you revamp and modernize while retaining the spirit of the original? After FF14 got that overhaul and a few expansions under its belt, it became one of the best in the franchise. Can we expect to see something like this with NGS and the Phantasy Star franchise? I think only time will tell here. I think that when it comes to my relationship with PSO2 over the years, it's always managed to pleasantly surprise me somehow. And anyone who's known me for a while knows I tend to be a cynical bastard. A certain degree of that is healthy though. So yeah, one era ends and a new one begins on June 9th. Of course, I'll be streaming it on Twitch, assuming we don't have a shitload of emergency maintenances to deal with, but I think we've all mentally prepared ourselves for that eventuality. Trying not to be too cynical here, but damn it, I can't help myself. Speaking of streams, we'll be playing Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past this week. Then sometime this weekend, we'll stream base PSO2 one more time, one more ride with the old girl before the extended maintenance happens. I kinda hoped it would happen later in the month, since there are a couple of other games that I wanted to play on stream before NGS dropped. Let's see, I played Saga Frontier for a bit, played Mega Man X2 the other day, was gonna get around to Super Metroid, probably Phantasy Star 3, and then maybe 4. But those games will still be there during the inevitable content lulls. So yeah, I definitely enjoy everything NGS has to offer, but don't forget to eat, sleep, and hydrate. As always, I'll have links to where else you can find me down in the description, Twitter, Twitch, Discord. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on June 9th. And remember, to thine own self be true. Until next time, farewell.